Probably want it deleted if they did get, a search warrant for your phone.
Of domestic violence and affirm that this information is correct.
Welcome, internet detectives, to a story so twisted, so unhinged, they could only be born in the lawless wilds of TikTok. This is the tale of Khalietheflowergirl, Lily to her legion of followers, a name that's become synonymous with chaos, deception, and a level of online infamy that's earned her a permanent spot in the TikTok Hall of Fame. Over the past 8 months, she's gone from a quirky cleaning video creator to a digital pariah, accused of swindling tens of thousands of dollars from her trusting fans, all while entangled in a relationship so toxic it's practically a psychological thriller. And trust me, you're not ready for what's coming. A girl with 500,000 followers, a messy apartment, and a knack for oversharing that'd make grandma blush. On the surface, Lily's TikTok is all chaotic charm. Grocery hauls, gum wrappers scattered with confetti, a life that screams relatable train wreck. But beneath that curated mess, a labyrinth of lies, scams, and a shadowy figure pulling strings, or so the internet believes. This isn't just a story about a TikTok star gone rogue, it's a descent into a digital rabbit hole where nothing is as it seems, and everyone's got an opinion louder than the last. It all started innocently enough. About a year ago, Lily was just another face in the algorithm, charming her way to viral fame with videos of her trashing her place and cleaning it up again. But then the cracks appeared. Whispers of GoFundMe's gone wrong started swirling. Thousands of dollars raised for cars, homes, even a dying dog, only for the money to vanish into thin air, leaving donors furious and the internet buzzing. Was it all a masterminded grift? Or was she a pawn in someone else's game? Then comes Preston, her boyfriend, her so-called social media manager, and the man who's got the internet clutching pitchforks. He's older, he's got a past that'd make your skin crawl, and he's allegedly the architect of this whole circus. Together, they've turned Lily's TikTok into a battleground of sympathy and skepticism, a saga for the ages.
Other people have come out and claimed, other people have come out and said that they are victims of.
But it gets darker. After the house fire that left her family homeless, their real tears, real tragedy was followed by yet another fundraiser that spiraled into accusations of theft so bold, even her own parents turned against her. Then a dog, a poor pup with an upset stomach, whose death became a cash grab. And then there's the domestic drama. Hotel lobbies, police calls, a hospital live stream claiming assault, only for it all to unravel as a potential lie. Was it abuse? Was it staged? The internet split down the middle. Lily's not just a scammer, though, or so her defenders cry. She's a victim, they say, groomed and manipulated by a predator who's been at this game for longer than she has. Preston's shadow looms large, whispering in live streams, controlling her moves, allegedly pocketing cash while she takes the fall. But Lily's no saint either. She's lied, she's begged, she's played this sympathy card so hard it's worn thin. Fake pregnancy tests, cryptic apologies, a life that flips between tragic and trollish. She's a walking paradox, and the internet can't look away. This isn't your typical influencer expose. This is an odyssey of raw, unfiltered madness, pieced together from TikTok clips, Reddit threads, and a collective outrage of a betrayed audience. As of March 2025, Lily's still out there, still posting, still stirring the pot, and we're diving head first to figure out what the hell's going on. Is she a mastermind? A puppet? A mentally ill kid caught in a nightmare? We've got the receipts, screenshots, videos, first-hand accounts, and we're laying it all bare. Get ready to be shocked as we delve into the unbelievable story of Khalietheflowergirl, the TikTok star who rose to fame through scams and deception. Starting from the very beginning, we'll explore how a 16-year-old girl's encounter with a 21-year-old on Snapchat transformed into a multi-million view empire and ultimately led to its downfall amidst a storm of controversy. This is a tale of manipulation, deceit, and the dark side of social media. Before the scams, before the screams, before the internet turned her into a punching bag and a puzzle, Khalietheflowergirl, Lily, was just another TikTok hopeful, a teenage girl with a messy apartment and a dream. 8 months ago, she was nobody special, just a chaotic speck in the algorithm's infinite scroll. But something about her clicked. Maybe it was the rawness, the unpolished edge of her videos, or maybe it was the train wreck appeal that kept eyes glued to their screens. Whatever it was, Lily's rise was fast, feral, and looking back, foreshadowed by a darkness that would soon consume her entire online existence. Let's rewind to late 2024. Lily's TikTok was a shrine to controlled chaos. She'd post videos where she's sorting groceries with a whirlwind of energy as she slammed canned goods onto a counter, mustering about her love for the word groceries while chewing gum like it was her last meal. Her apartment was a disaster zone, half-eaten apples rotting on the floor, gum wrappers littering every surface, a vibe that screamed, "I'm a mess and I'm proud of it."
Clean my messy-ass apartment. I destroy it every night. I don't mean to, but I've been in an episode for a while, which hopefully explains the half-eaten apples, if even that, and all of the gum wrappers. I went through 35 pieces of gum yesterday, an entire huge pack, as you can see. All myself ran in a week. Yeah, shit's difficult right now. Metaphobia's got me in a chokehold, but fuck it. Anyways, my cat does end up in jail in this video, and I'm sorry about that. She was beating up the Altoids that fell on the floor while I was trying to sleep, and she knocked some stuff off the fridge, so I put her in timeout. Sorry about that. I put the cans in the sink this time, I'm sorry. I did it.
She'd trash the place nightly, then film herself cleaning it up later, all with this manic charisma that hooked viewers. "Clean My Messy-Ass Apartment," she'd titled them, admitting to episodes that left her spiraling. 35 pieces of gum in a day? Sure, a prehistoric heating system and roach droppings in the pantry? Why not? It was unhinged, it was relatable, and it worked. Within months, she'd racked up 500,000 followers, a loyal army eating up her every move. But every villain needs a catalyst, a spark to ignite the infamy. And for Lily, that spark had a name: Preston. Enter a man who'd become the internet's favorite villain, a 21-year-old with an anime girl profile pic and a Snapchat history that'd make your stomach turn. Their story starts in the murky depths of 2023, when Lily was just 16, a vulnerable kid oversharing her life online. Preston, 5 years her senior, slid into her DMs, a move that'd later raise every red flag in the book. Snapchat, that cesspool of fleeting secrets, was their playground. What started as messages morphed into something far uglier, a power dynamic that'd define Lily's descent. By the time she turned 18, Preston wasn't just her boyfriend, he was her social media manager, a puppet master whispering in her ear, steering her TikTok empire toward chaos. The internet didn't notice Preston at first. Lily's fans were too busy vibing with her cleaning rants, her quirky oversharing, her cries for attention that felt raw and real. But then the cracks started showing. Old allegations surfaced like ghosts from Preston's past. Screenshots, blurry and damning, began circulating on Reddit and X. Messages from Preston to girls as young as 15, a pattern of predatory behavior stretching back years. Victims, plural, came forward, some with photos proving they'd been close to him, others with tales of manipulation that chilled the spine. His profile pic, always that same creepy anime girl, a digital mask for a man the internet would soon dub a piece of. Lily wasn't his first target, they claimed, just his most successful one. And Lily was aware of all this. By 2024, as her fame swelled, so did the whispers about Preston's shadow over her account. She didn't hide him, not entirely. She even made a song about him, a bizarre overshared anthem that's since been scrubbed from TikTok but lives on in infamy. "Fetish and a 17-year-old went really close for less," she crooned. Lyrics that'd make you cringe and question everything. Was it a cry for help? A troll? A love letter to her manipulator? No one could agree, but it was the first sign that Lily's TikTok wasn't just chaos, it was a stage, and Preston was directing the show.
A 22-year-old with a foot fetish, and I'm a 17-year-old who went really manic. I bought a ton of clothes from Ross just for less. I made him drop all his toes, I was the youngest yet. He never dated.
The real tipping point came when Lily turned 18, and Preston's influence went from subtle to suffocating. That's when the money started flowing and vanishing. 2 GoFundMes popped up, one to help Lily move out, another to buy her a car. The internet, ever eager to save a damsel in distress, poured in $21,000. Cash meant to liberate her from a troubled home life she'd hinted at in earlier posts. But 95% of that money didn't go to Lily. It went to Preston. The car, it's titled in his name. Donors, expecting to fund her freedom, watched in horror as the couple jetted off on a lavish holiday, blowing through cash like it was confetti. Lily later claimed she only saw $3,000 of it, that Preston controlled the rest. But the damage was done, even after she explained that she thought she was too young to open a bank account, and Preston said he could help. That's why he linked his account to the GoFundMe. So slimy. Her audience already turned. Scammer started trending alongside her name.
I'm gonna start. Fuck, it feels so weird talking to a camera. God. I guess I'm gonna start off by saying I didn't think that I could make my own bank account. And you know who wanted to help me set up a GoFundMe? So he linked it to his bank account. So every donation that I got went straight to him in his bank account.
This was no one-off event. It was the blueprint for what had become Lily's legacy. Tragedy, sympathy, cash, betrayal, rinse and repeat. She'd sob into the camera begging for help, only for the funds to slip through her fingers, or Preston's, leaving fans furious and forums ablaze. Was she complicit? Brainwashed? Too young to know better? The debates raged, but one thing was clear. Lily wasn't just a victim anymore. She was a player in a game she couldn't or wouldn't escape. A leaked audio clip revealed a disturbing conversation between Lily and Preston. In the clip, a visibly shaken Lily cautioned Preston about incriminating material that he'd want to delete if a search warrant was issued. She explicitly mentioned videos and pictures taken when she was 17, implying child pornography. Despite the severity of the situation, Preston seemed unconcerned, dismissing her worries. Lily's decision to livestream the conversation fueled speculation online. Many questioned if the call was evidence of grooming or a crime. Others wondered about Lily's motive for sharing such sensitive information publicly. If she was really worried about Preston, the call should have been happening with us knowing. But she lets us know that she has videos and other materials with him that would be deemed illegal as she was a minor. And while this intensified the hate for Preston, it also raised more questions about Lily.
Except there's a little bit. Except there is a little bit.
And you think nobody gives a fuck?
Sure, nobody gives a fuck, but there are some things that you would probably want to delete if they did get, a search warrant for your phone. Sorry, the dog in the room. I think he's itchy.
This was the moment Callie stopped being a quirky TikTok star and became a full-blown figure of fascination, disgust, and endless speculation. Preston's past, Lily's pleas, the missing money, it was a perfect storm, and we were all caught in it. But this was just the beginning. They would come to see that the scams got bolder, the drama darker, the lies wilder. The truth remains elusive. Is Lily a manipulative fraud, secretly reveling in her deception? A vulnerable child exploited by a predator? Or perhaps something more nuanced, too unpredictable to define? The search for answers continues. The second Khalietheflowergirl crossed the age of consent, the game changed. What started as quirky cleaning videos and overshared chaos morphed into something uglier, a grift so blatant it'd leave the internet reeling. This is where Lily's degenerate crown starts to take shape, forged in the fires of betrayal, sympathy scams, and a boyfriend who'd turn her desperation into dollars. By mid-2024, Lily had amassed 500,000 TikTok followers, drawn to her unpolished charm, yet rumors were swirling about Preston's controlling influence. Lily had gone from an average teen to an internet sensation, but fame wasn't enough. And neither, it seemed, was integrity. 2 GoFundMe campaigns would set the stage for her notoriety, pitching a straightforward, tragic story designed to evoke sympathy. One fundraiser promised to help Lily move out of a troubled home she'd alluded to in tearful posts, while the other was to buy her a car, a symbol of independence for a girl who seemed stuck. Her ever-supportive fans donated a total of $21,000, believing they were helping her escape a difficult situation. However, the story took a dark turn as 95% of the $21,000 went directly into Preston's bank account. Donors thought they were funding her freedom. Instead, they financed a luxurious vacation for the couple. Lily claimed she only received $3,000 of the total amount raised, offering stammering excuses on TikTok. I didn't think I could make my own bank account, she'd say, wide-eyed and frantic. Preston linked it to his, so every donation went to him. She'd glance at the GoFundMe totals like a child caught cheating, admitting she had no idea where the rest of the money went. It was like a year's salary, she'd mutter. A ton of money. We blew $18,000 in a month.
Money I had, other than whenever I'd look at the GoFundMe and actually look at the screen and see what was on there. But other than that, I didn't know what was on, how much money I really had. Nor can I really grasp how much money that was. That was a year's worth of salary. It was like someone's salary. That was a shit ton of money. But to sum it up and be a little, I'm gonna say this got mad at his dad, so he came to Tennessee. Of course, whenever he came, I was 17, he was 22. Of course, whenever he came, I wanted to see him for longer. He was booking places for $600 a week. I never booked a single place, but I also never had access to my money. And I am not trying to take away accountability in this situation, because I know I should be held accountable, and I am more sorry than anything to everyone and anyone who felt like they had to donate to me.
Ignorance about the required donations were met with skepticism. The inconsistencies in her story raised questions. Why had she given Preston control of the funds? Why hadn't she monitored the donations? And most importantly, why was she publicly live-streaming her apologies if she was complicit in the scam? The situation presented a perplexing contradiction. Was Lily a victim or a villain? A pawn or a profiteer? The public was divided, but one thing was certain: everyone was captivated by the unfolding drama. Preston, of course, was the ghost in the machine. His fingerprints were all over this, literally. If you count the bank transfers, blurry shots of the two lounging in Tennessee, $600 a week rentals eating up cash Lily swore she never touched. He got mad at his dad, so he came to me, she'd say, painting him as the impulsive mastermind. Her fans split down the middle. Some saw a groomed teen, too naive to fight back. Others saw a willing accomplice, cashing in on crocodile tears. Preston's brother even got involved. A leaked phone call where he confronts him. You spent $21,000. Now she's got $3,000? What'd you do with her?
Me about blocking her, right? This a couple months ago. How,
Yeah.
you lied to me, right?
I mean, probably. We both did. It's not just me.
What? I just don't understand, why you feel the need to have to talk to a 17-year-old girl, Preston. I read the whole Reddit thread. Apparently you guys went on a vacation and she had $21,000 on her card, and now she has $3,000. I basically need you to tell me, what have you done with this girl? Have you had sex with this girl?
No.
Is that a lie?
I'm not going to explain any information that does not need to be said, over the phone call, because it is my life, and,
Preston, you realize that's illegal. That's a felony, right? You realize there's people trying to get police involved on Reddit and all this stuff?
I know you know what's going on. It's been going on for months.
Why do you keep involving yourself in this, Preston? It's not okay. You're grooming this girl that is in a poor situation.
The authenticity of the phone call, which ended with a defiant "It's my life" from Preston, was uncertain. It was unclear if the caller was truly his brother, but their familiarity during the heated conversation suggested a rather close relationship. This lack of accountability was a recurring pattern for Preston. In response, Lily intensified her content creation, subtly incorporating requests for financial assistance into her cleaning videos. Preston's demands for her to blast the GoFundMe were often captured in the background noise. If I didn't, he'd get mad, Lily would later confess, her voice trembling with fear and exhaustion. He'd say I wasn't doing enough. The internet lapped it up, a twisted spectacle that garnered a mix of pity and mockery. Her TikToks became a bizarre form of performance art, a cycle of chaos, sympathy, and cash.
A bunch of people think that I manipulated others out of money. I hope you know that the only time that I mentioned my GoFundMe, and every single time that I mentioned my GoFundMe, not to make him look bad, although the only times that I ever mentioned my GoFundMe was whenever I was being told to blast that In every cleaning video, I was being told, hey, make a cleaning video today, and on that cleaning video, you have to talk about the GoFundMe. You have to talk about the GoFundMe, and if you don't talk about the GoFundMe, then this is gonna happen. Nobody's gonna see your GoFundMe. You're not gonna get anything. Oh, and another thing about the GoFundMe, if I wasn't making enough money on the GoFundMe, he'd get mad at me. He'd be like, you're not doing a good enough job making another cleaning video and blast the GoFundMe, and I'd be like, I'd be mad as shit. I'm like, bro, why do you only give a
Meanwhile, Preston remained hidden, his online presence masked by an anime avatar, a digital grin that concealed his manipulation. He reveled in the attention while Lily bore the brunt of the criticism. The online community was captivated, their morbid curiosity fueling the drama. The line between reality and performance blurred, leaving viewers to question the authenticity of their relationship and the extent of Preston's control. Then came the dead dog scam, because of course it did. Lily posted about her family dog Rambo, sick from eating dead mice. She took him to the vet, begged for donations, and raked in cash. But Rambo was euthanized shortly after. But the GoFundMe stayed up, collecting funds for a corpse. She claims to have posted an update the day he died, but TikTok lagged behind her Instagram pleas, leaving donors in the dark.
I'm sorry.
And for the dog, so back when that was happening, he was put down, and your post asking for donations for him was kept up for a long time.
Oh,
So what happened to those donations after he was already put down?
after he was put down?
Yeah, and you kept getting donations because the post stayed up.
I think that's just in my savings now. I hope y'all know that I wasn't donated that money before. I wasn't donated that money before he was put down. I was donated that
You were
money.
also donated money before because you had that post up before and after.
You said people donated after.
Both.
A lot of the donations were, I posted an update after he was put down because I couldn't afford the thousands and thousands of dollars it was going to cost to save his life. Because it would have cost thousands of dollars to save his life.
You had $3,000 at the time, though.
I did, and it would have costed more than that because it was $1,000 a night at the vet.
And then you also got donations and continued to get them after he was put down because you didn't tell them until way later that he was put down.
I told them right whenever he was being put down. I posted it the same day.
I remember you posting that.
I posted it the same day. I posted it minutes after. I was saying that I didn't know what to do. I didn't tell, and I wasn't like there, and I was like, oh my God, donate to me. I was saying I don't know what to do or how I'm gonna be able to afford it. From my memory, I wasn't asking for donations. People sent the donations. I said I don't know how I'll be able to afford it. This is all I have left.
In the video, Lily says that the donations she had at the time of reaching the vet was not enough to cover all the costs required to keep the dog alive, and that after it was put down, she made a post on Instagram, totally confused, saying that she didn't know what to do. The argument raised by her fans calling her out is that she left the donation post up even after the dog was already dead, raking in even more donations, the money that she says is now in her savings. Lily also apologized later in the video to everyone that donated after the dog was already put down. The truth became even more elusive when her mom's leaked text surfaced, saying that Lily seemed much better during the burial and that it felt more like a party than it did a funeral for the beloved dog Rambo, also claiming to have gotten more than enough money for a surgery that never took place. She also adds that the doctors said it was very unlikely that the dog survived the surgery due to its emaciated state. Was it true? Was it a lie? Is this woman really her mom? We don't know for sure. The lines blurred even further, making it impossible to determine if she was a scammer or simply a grieving child, because everyone grieves differently. Although it was later confirmed by Lily herself that the woman was, in fact, her mom. The confirmation came from the lyrics to one of her unpopular songs, where she said that she confided in her mother and she blasted it all online.
Callie, you're a scammer. After my house burned down, they said Callie's doing drugs. When I was homeless and manic as hell, fuck you. I would the internet if my diddle didn't burn in a fire. And now I would tell my story to the world if everybody didn't call me a liar. And when I went live, everything was true. I just can't tell you now. Because when I met a stripper, they put a little stripper on my mouth. And then my Uber driver told me to calm the down. Then when I went to work, they recorded my ass. So I just quit my job. And when I texted my mama, she posted the screenshot. So I never text her back.
The betrayal cut deeper with every dollar. Fans who'd once adored her quirky rants now saw a con artist, or a puppet too broken to resist. Preston's absence from this scam only fueled theories. Was he lurking, directing from afar, or had Lily learned the grift herself? But we quickly come to find out that this was just the warm-up. The GoFundMes were a spark. What came next was an inferno, literally and figuratively. A house fire, a family divided, a fake pregnancy, each scam bolder, each betrayal sharper. Lily's world was unraveling, and Preston's grip was tightening. If you thought the GoFundMe grift and the dead dog scam were peak Khalietheflowergirl chaos, brace yourself, because this is where the crown gets forged in fire. Late 2024, it brought a tragedy so raw, it could have been Lily's redemption. But her family home burned to the ground, an electrical fire reducing her past to ash. But this is Lily we're talking about, a girl who turns tears into cash and trust into betrayal. The ensuing chaos wasn't a rebirth, it was a $60,000 scam-fueled disaster that ignited family conflict and severed parental ties.
Oh my god. Oh my god. It's not funny. I'm not supposed to do this, but I still want to go to my bedroom. I got off work and I went home. Beautiful. Dystopian, dude. Why do I have packages here? It's the pillagers that held up the roof.
Wait, that was my tablet.
Sometime in January this year, Lily shared a heartbreaking video of her childhood home after it was destroyed in an electrical fire. The footage, quite shaky and tearful, showed the extent of the damage, with Lily providing a tour of the charred remains of the rooms that once held so many dear memories for her. The raw emotion and devastation captured in the video resonated with viewers, who watched in shock as Lily's life was turned upside down. But despite the tragedy, Lily continues to share her story, and she amassed a large following on social media while doing so. Quickly, a GoFundMe was established, and Lily claimed that all proceeds would go to her father, the homeowner who was left with nothing but smoke and debt. The plea for help to help my family rebuild after this nightmare was met with tens of thousands of dollars in donations, as high as $60,000, although the exact amount is unknown due to the many deleted pages and unclear screenshots. But her fans, still reeling from her previous controversies, saw this as an opportunity to truly save her. However, given Lily's recent history, this goodwill seemed to be misplaced every time. It was soon revealed that said money didn't reach her dad. It went to Lily, or so the story goes, and what happened next turned a tragedy into a battlefield. The first red flag? Her parents' response. Lily's dad and his girlfriend didn't just sit quietly. They started their own GoFundMe, a separate cry for help, signaling a bombshell narrative that Kai was not trusted with the funds. Withdrawals, they claimed, were inconsistent, trickling in sporadically or not at all. Lily's own flesh and blood called her out, painting her as a thief in the ashes of their home. And in a flash, TikTok imploded, with more people turning against Lily, some going as far as calling her out to be reported to the authorities. Lily fought back in the way that she could by posting cryptic defenses. "The money's going to my dad, I'm just holding it," she insisted. She adds that everybody that requested refunds have been refunded anyway, but the refund claim was a lie, or at best a half-truth. Some donors claimed they never got a dime, despite Lily's assurances. She admits in one of her now deleted videos that her father still doesn't know he's not getting a home, but the internet didn't care. Her credibility was ash already, just like the house. You're probably wondering where Preston was the whole time. Well, he's still lurking, as always. Lily hinted at his presence on a live stream that she was still technically with him, while dodging questions about his role in her life. Worries swirled among the public, especially those that donated. They wondered if he siphoned the funds, like he did with the car scam. Was he whispering in her ear again, turning tragedy into profit? No hard proof pinned him here, but his shadow loomed large. Fans pointed to her previous cleaning videos, where his off-screen demands echoed. asking her to blast the GoFundMe and she'd obey. The house fire cash could have been his latest heist, or maybe Lily had graduated from pawn to player. But once again, we cannot exactly tell what happened with both of them. The family fallout cut deeper than the flames. Lily's mom, a figure as unhinged as her daughter, leaked text to Reddit, spilling private grief for the world to gawk at. She wrote that Lily sang songs on her new guitar while the dog was buried, adding that Lily shrugged off Rambo's death with cash in hand. True or exaggerated? Who knows? But the oversharing was generational, a twisted legacy of airing dirty laundry. After the house burnt down, her mom kept up with posting spats with Lily to a subreddit dedicated to her downfall. In an effort to paint her as callous, rebellious, and untrustworthy amid the tussle of GoFundMe accounts, the audience lapped it up, some saying if her own mom hates her, maybe she was the problem. But no one asked why a parent would blast this kind of negative info about their child to hundreds of thousands of strangers on the internet. Lily's TikToks from this era felt like a fever dream. Half of the time she was apologizing. The other half, she's in defiance. She said that she didn't trust Preston, yet she stayed. She claims to be stranded with no vehicles, no family, and no shelter, begging for cash for Airbnb while admitting to having savings from past GoFundMe scams that were currently inaccessible to her. But then her fans and audience are skeptical about trusting her this time, and there is a cloud of doubt around them. Some say that she has money already, she just wants more, while others saw a broken girl that was too lost to escape. The house fire wasn't a scam, it was a fracture. Family against family, fans against Lily, reality against her endless lies. And now still no evidence proves she kept it all. The $60,000 figure floats in Reddit communities, backed by rage, not receipts. Her still active Cash Apps and Venmo accounts linked to her bio fueled suspicion, so they wondered, if she's not scamming, why is she still begging? But hard proof for any of these suspicions are elusive. Fans struggle to believe her now, in what seems like an actual dire request for help because of her worrisome past. $21,000 vanished, a dog's death monetized. These events cast a shadow too dark to ignore. It's the typical story of the boy who cried wolf, and internet logic assumes one is guilty until proven otherwise, and Lily's proof was ashes. Literally. Still, this inferno wasn't the end, it was a midpoint. The fire exposed her, broke her family, and fed the internet's obsession. But the spiral had more to give. Domestic violence claims, a fake pregnancy, a life teetering on collapse. It seemed like Preston was tightening his grip, or was Lily actually clawing her own downfall? The house fire was a major turning point, but subsequent events transformed Khalietheflowergirl into a target of intense anger and disbelief. By 2025, Lily's TikTok was no longer just a platform for cleanup content and scams. It had become a battleground for accusations so shocking that they divided her audience. This is where the narrative takes a dark turn, and the truth becomes obscured by a number of conflicting accounts. It started with a literal bang. In January 2025, Lily and Preston's tumultuous relationship reached a boiling point, leading to a chaotic incident in a hotel lobby. The hotel's staff were forced to call the police due to the couple's loud argument, which was disturbing other guests. Following the incident, Lily took to social media, live streaming her distress and pleading with her followers for financial assistance via Venmo. She claimed that her savings were inaccessible until Monday, and that she needed money to escape the situation and retrieve her cat Twinkle, which she alleged Preston was holding hostage. This public plea left her online followers wondering if this would be the catalyst for Lily to finally end the relationship.
Cosmo, you live in New York. You cannot come and get me. And I can't go to New York with my family having their issues right now. How much do I need? I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm sorry, Twinkle. It's gonna hurt, man. Don't you have 9K? Yeah, my savings in an account that's locked, and I need to go and get unlocked. But I can't do that till Monday because, banks are closed, and I tried to fix that today. That's what I've been trying to do, so that I can afford rent, so that I can live somewhere. That's what I'm trying to do. But I can't do that because...
After this video of her asking for help with cash to get an apartment for the night, her followers started thinking that this might be it. This might be the moment that she finally leaves Preston. Spoiler, she didn't. Preston handed over the cat and her stuff, but the drama didn't end there. Lily fled the hotel, posted a photo of an injured hand, bruised and swollen, a silent suggestion of abuse. Then came the hospital live stream where she dropped a bombshell that'd ignite TikTok. He's going to jail for domestic violence, she told viewers as a police officer loomed nearby. Simple assault. He's talking to the judge. The cop confirmed it. The state of Tennessee is pressing charges and offered her resources including victim coalitions, counseling, and a lifeline out of hell. Lily signed a form, but checked no to pressing charges herself and sobbed, "I don't want him to get hurt." Classic Stockholm Syndrome, the internet cried. Or was it?
No, sir.
Okay, you're just not willing to do that?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm for everything.
All right, it says, I am a victim of domestic violence and affirm that this information is correct. Let's see where that is at. Was it instructions, entries, yes. Possible minor loss to victim was I intend to press charges or to prosecute. I'm going to check no, okay? Because no is what you said. What is today's date?
31st.
1/31/25. Okay. I check no. I need your signature and then print your name legibly there. Or I mean signature here, print it legibly here, okay?
Yeah, I just don't want to be. I just don't want to call myself a victim. You know what I mean?
Well, it's look. It's not being a victim or an offender is not what the point is. The point is that you are living a lifestyle that is hard.
I know.
Not easy. It's hard. It's hard on you. It's hurting you. Okay? And sometimes people get in this rut with other people in their life that they care about and they can't hardly get out of it. Okay? And you need to be able to get out of it. Okay? So that doesn't make you a victim. You're not pulling, like some people call it, the victim card. Okay? You're not doing that. All right? When I walked in here, did you start telling me, oh, he twisted my hand, he hurt me, he done this? You didn't say none of that, did you? No, I seen that. Okay? And the rest of the world can see whenever you're struggling and being hurt as well. Okay? You're just going to have to step back and realize that we can see it. We just want you to be able to do something to get help for yourself. Okay?
The plot twisted fast. Preston ended up not going to jail. None of the charges stuck. And some days later, Lily spilled the tea as to why it unfolded so, saying, "The crime happened in Arkansas, not Tennessee. They wanted me to report it there."
Nobody bailed him out. He never got arrested because the crime didn't happen in Tennessee, where the hospital was. The crime happened in Arkansas. And they wanted me to make a report in Arkansas. Did I fuck up?
Lily's fans reacted strongly to the hospital video, some enraged and others sympathizing with her apparent fear and injury. Despite her visible distress and injured hand, Lily refused help from her fans and drove her scooter back to Preston. Staying in an Airbnb, she claimed she was no longer with her alleged abuser, but background car horns and a video suggested otherwise. This led to online speculation about whether she was a victim of abuse or if the situation was staged for sympathy.
No, I'm not with them anymore. So I'm all alone in Memphis. No car, no house.
It's also worth noting that after the fire, Lily had a brief redemption arc where she finally decides to go get an actual job as a cleaner. The arrangement was allegedly put together by some of her followers, and the job included a provision for a place for her to stay, but the terms was that Preston would be left out of all of this. Her boss allegedly dropped a bombshell comment on her live saying, "I offered her an apartment, furnished it, everything. She Ubered to me, then left with him." Now, is this true? Maybe. There's no definitive proof it's really her boss. For all we know, it could be a TikTok rando with a grudge. But it fit the pattern of her past behaviors. Lily running, then returning, cash flowing in between, all too familiar. And there is evidence, thanks to the TikTok detectives, of Preston being around her at the apartment provided by her boss. In the previous clip, if you listen carefully, you would hear a car chime in the background, and that matched the car that Preston had. She begged for Uber money after the hospital trip, despite that $9,000 savings claim. Fans donated, she declined rides, and decided to take a scooter ride back to Preston, sealing the skepticism. They now assume that she's got plenty of money in the bank, since she's allegedly made over $60,000 in donations. The live streams from this period show Lily's conflicting emotions of defiance and despair. She would say things like, "I need help, but I'm not asking," and block anyone who doubted her. She would also post TikTok videos that ranged from reposting abusive boyfriend POVs to eerily calm videos with Preston lurking in the background. One video from mid-2025 clearly shows Preston, even though Lily had said that they had broken up. Lily played it off, saying they were technically together.
Preston is very clearly right there. And then here's the video itself slowed down where Preston is soon to him. There he is, peekaboo. By the way, I was so caught up by that genuine moment of...
The police were called to their new apartment multiple times. In one leaked video, an officer tells them to stop whatever they're doing on TikTok because the police keep getting called there. Lily is slurring, and Preston admits she had been drinking. The officer then checks her arms for bruises but doesn't find any. In another video a few weeks later, Lily says Preston tried to suffocate her and she ran away. Preston isn't in the video, but Lily's fear seems real. People online were divided in their opinions. Some pointed to videos where Lily mocks Preston and said she wasn't really scared. Others focused on the age gap and power imbalance between them. There was no arrest after Lily's suffocation claim. Because of Lily's history of lying, people didn't believe her. She had lied about being pregnant and getting refunds. Some people accused her of romanticizing the situation, and she laughed off a rash she said was from stress. Preston's role remains unclear. Was he the abuser who hurt Lily in the hotel? Was he the mastermind behind the whole situation? Or simply a creepy bystander? Lily's plea to not hurt him raises questions about whether it was motivated by loyalty or fear. His past comments add to this suspicion, but the violence in this instance seemed personal and unscripted until it didn't. The scooter ride back, the boss rant, and the casual return to chaos all seemed staged, a desperate attempt for attention. Now, it is a confusing mix of truth and lies. The police found enough evidence to file a report, but nothing came of it. Lily's tears and bruises seemed real, but her actions suggested a scam. Her fan base was divided. Some believed she was lying, others believed she was trapped. No one knew for sure. Her fans decreased, her haters increased, and the pressure intensified. By March 2025, Khalietheflowergirl's TikTok was in ruins due to scams, controversies, and accusations of violence. Lily, however, wasn't finished yet. She had one last trick up her sleeve, and it began with a shocking revelation. Lily broadcast a live stream, clutching a pregnancy test as if it were a sacred object. 2 lines, she murmured, her voice quivering from shock, fear, or superb acting. "I'm pregnant." The chat erupted. All 500,000 followers, some devoted, some doubtful, all captivated. She had been with Preston intermittently, she insisted. Despite the hotel turmoil, the police involvement, the "I'm done" tirades. Now this? A baby connected to a man the internet loathed. A creep with a history of accusations longer than a CVS receipt. She says that he doesn't know about it yet, and then proceeds to solicit for funds to support her and her incoming newborn child. Fans bought it for a second anyway, and donations almost already started pouring in, as if she did not quickly debunk the pregnancy claims, saying that it was obviously a prank that she was playing on her followers, as she explains in another video.
And used it in the clip for, what, like 1 second? And the line was literally so scribbly you could tell it was fake. Like, that's the only reason why I just think that it's a little weird that people are upset. Somebody sent me baby clothes. Sorry. I'm not mad I got caught. I would not have carried that out. I wouldn't have been like, yeah, y'all, I'm pregnant. I'm pregger-liggered. No. But one thing I will say is that I don't think that y'all need to go this insane over it. I'm not pregnant. I'm on birth control. I'm sorry that you're offended. And I'm sorry that I did that because I know I should not have done that. I know I should not have done that. I just thought that it was funny. Because, you know, I'm a normal person who's lived... I'm not a normal person. But I've lived a life too. And it's probably been very different from yours. And... you know, we have different humors, and if I thought that it was funny to say, yeah, I'm pregnant, like all the girls did in my school, then I just don't get it. I mean, see, I can say that I'm sorry and whatever, but there's nobody, I'm sorry to say this, there's nobody who can make me understand why it was wrong, other than the fact that some women can't get pregnant. I understand that I shouldn't make people think I'm pregnant, but people do pregnancy pranks all the time, and it was kind of like shock content. I didn't expect anyone to really see the 2 lines. I just thought it was like, you know, it was just a little funny thing to put in my video and have people be like, oh my god, she just so casually showed that she had 2 lines on her pregnancy test. Like, that's what I thought that it was gonna be. Like,
in the unraveling video a week later, Lily dropped the mask, admitting in a live stream that they all freaked out over nothing. The test was fake. She had just scribbled a second line on the test strip, she claims, but the damage was done. Donors who'd shelled out funds for her again were pissed. She lied again, while Reddit threads ballooned with receipts, claiming that her whole life was an act aimed as a cash grab. Preston's role in all this? A ghost as always. No proof that he orchestrated this. Lily took the fall solo, even though many suggested otherwise. She had sworn they'd split. I'm not with him, she claimed, yet TikTok caught them together post-prank, with his alleged voice faint in the background saying to tell him to chill. Was he the brains? Or had Lily learned the grift too well? The internet turned feral against Lily. She is a compulsive liar, X declared, memes of her test flooding feeds. Her subreddit hit thousands, in a mix of gawkers and vigilantes demanding justice. Donors begged GoFundMe for refunds. Some got them, most didn't. The manual process was a maze she'd exploited before. Lily's response was a half-baked apology, saying sorry that they thought she was pregnant. The backlash from fans who believed her fake tears was immense. She tried to use mental health as an excuse, but it was a weak defense against the angry mob. Her TikToks after the incident were chaotic and erratic. She would rant about haters, daring them to block her, and then immediately ask for money for an Airbnb, claiming she was stranded. This was despite the hints she had previously dropped about having $9,000 in savings and possibly even $60,000. Preston was always present, sometimes on screen, sometimes lurking in the background, while she alternated between defiance and desperation. She insisted she wasn't a scammer, but admitted she had made mistakes. The pregnancy prank was the final straw, turning fans against her and doubters into active opponents. The phrase morbid echo that tied Lily's scams together was a chilling reminder of the darkness that seemed to follow her. The fallout with her family had been severe, and her mother's accusations on Reddit only fueled the fire. Whether true or not, the claims painted Lily as a heartless grifter who was unfazed by the pain she caused. The image of her laughing while her family suffered was a powerful one, and it cemented the narrative of Lily as a villain. The fact that her father remained silent about the accusations only added to the mystery. The $60,000 in unaccounted-for house fire funds remained a gaping wound in the family's history, and it was clear that they were fractured beyond repair. Lily's reputation was taking a toll on her. Every lie, every dollar she had scammed, and every tear shed by her victims added to the weight of the crown she wore. By April 2025, the pressure had become too much. The empire that Lily had built on lies and deception was finally starting to crumble. The consequences of her actions were catching up with her, and the future looked uncertain. This was the tipping point. By April 2025, Lily's empire was crumbling. Followers dropped, haters soared, her TikTok a graveyard of deleted lies and defiant rants. Preston lingered. She's still technically with him, a bond the internet couldn't crack. Was she trapped, complicit, broken? The pregnancy prank didn't help, as her fans were now skeptical of every move, taking them with a pinch of salt. It exposed her, stripped her bare, left her for the ages. April 1st, 2025. Approximately 8 months after Khalietheflowergirl burst onto TikTok, Lily's empire is a smoldering wreck. Half ash, half defiance. The cleaning videos, the GoFundMes, the dead dog, the house fire, the violence, the fake baby. It's a trail of digital debris stretching from obscurity to infamy. She's still here, still posting, but the girl who once charmed 500,000 followers with gum wrappers and grit is a shadow of her former self. Lily's TikTok today is a ghost town with a pulse. She's down to a fraction of her peak, with somewhere around 200,000 followers, though the count's a moving target. aggressively bleeding fans daily. Her more recent posts includes cleaning rants, same as ever, sweeping a floor littered with roach droppings, gum wrappers back like a grim signature. "I'm still here," she captions, voice hollow, a forced laugh cutting through the static. Preston's there too, sometimes a shadow, sometimes a voice. The apartment's a dump. No smoking ashtray overflowing, a prehistoric heater humming, proof the $60,000, the $21,000, the untold thousands never built her a better life. The money's the million-dollar question, literally. Reddit pegs her haul at over $100,000 across scams. $21,000 for the car, $60,000 from the fire, and an alleged $20,000 for the baby, plus Rambo's vet fund and endless Venmo drips. Hard proof of these claims are scarce. Deleted GoFundMes, murky Cash App logs, her own "I blew it" confessions, only to come back and say she's got savings. She also teased $9,000 was locked in her bank account after she switched banks, she claimed. Yet she's begging for Airbnb cash, Uber rides, cat food. Stranded, she cries, but the scooter rides back to Preston, the holiday splurges, the guitar from Rambo's grave, they all paint a different picture. Did she squander it? Did Preston pocket it? Or is it stashed as her nest egg for a rainy day? The internet's got no receipts, just rage and theories. Her fans, or what's left, cling to scraps. Some still defend her because she's a victim that was groomed at 16 and trapped by him. The age gap, Preston's creepy past, those leaked Snapchat screenshots, girls as young as 15 keep that narrative alive. She's mentally ill, others, they argued, pointing to her episodes, her spiral from quirky to unhinged. The rest? They're done. Alleged that she was a compulsive liar, as X brands her. Memes of her fake test and refund lies flooding feeds. Her subreddit is a war zone with pity and scorn in equal measure. Preston's the wild card. He's still around. No jail time from the domestic violence claims. No charges sticking despite police visits. That hospital live stream where Lily claims that he's going to jail fizzled into a case of wrong state. Oops. His past still haunts him. Victims come out to tell their tales. But he's untouchable, a ghost in Lily's story. Is he the mastermind? Siphoning cash, scripting scams, or just a leech riding her chaos? Her family's a faded echo. Dad's silent, $60,000 unaccounted for. His home is still ash. Mom's Reddit rants have cooled, but the rift's permanent. Most recently, when a YouTube creator who goes by Danky Jabo posted his video about Lily a few days ago, a YouTube account that the internet has now come to know as Lily's mother responded to some questions that have remained unanswered. Firstly, in the case of her outing her daughter. Lily's alone now. No family, very few friends. Just Preston and a cat named Twinkle, the one constant in her storm. The legacy? Khalietheflowergirl's a cautionary tale. A TikTok Icarus who flew too close to the scam sun. She's the girl who turned oversharing into an art, then a weapon, then a noose. Cleaning videos birthed a grift empire resulting in $100,000 plus worth of loot. If the whispers hold, only to collapse under its own weight. Rambo's death, the house fire, the fake baby, each a brick in her monument, a testament to chaos monetized. Yet there's pathos here. Was she a kid ensnared at 16, molded by a predator into this mess? Her early TikToks, gum-chewing, messy charm, hint at innocence lost. Episodes, she'd confess, a mental health thread the internet half believes. Or was she always this? A grifter born, not made, laughing behind the tears. The haze blurs it all. Victim, villain, or a tragic mix, too broken to name. She's made mistakes, yes, but the scale? Tens of thousands of dollars. A family shattered by greed. It almost defies forgiveness. As of today, she's not gone. She's still posting, still begging, still spiraling. But the algorithm's cruel. Views dwindle. Haters drown her out. The internet watches. Less to save her, more to gawk. She's a relic now, a name whispered in scam lore, a warning to influencers and fans alike. Overshare at your peril, grift at your doom. So what's next? Will she fade? A TikTok ghost haunting dead links? Will Preston drag her deeper? Or will she finally run? Khalietheflowergirl saga ends not with a bang, but as a story too wild to forget.